We're rolling. Ryan, let's just do this, Ryan. We got a show today. The Tates, Ryan. The Tates UK case. Okay, there's big news in the Tates UK case. We're going to talk about Elon Musk, Israeli tweets. We're about to get real rich, Ryan. The pro-life Pope, pink backpacks, and some leaked tweets that could potentially, now I'm going to say this without a whole lot of certainty, but could potentially back up some of the things Candace Owens is saying about TPUSA Charlie Kirk. Where would you like to go with this, Ryan?
Where do you think I want to go?
I think you want to go Tate.
Oh, yeah, listen. I kind of wanted to lean into the Candace thing because I wonder what you heard. I heard some shit about Mr. Save America, Charlie Kirk.
Well, listen. We can certainly leave with that, right?
Now, I know it's tied to women, if I'm not mistaken, David.
I don't know about this thing you're talking about.
All right. I saw different ranges. Go ahead.
Come on. Which one? I'm so excited.
Tate.
Pick Tate. Oh, you did go Tate. Ryan, Andrew Tate. Let's just hop into this. Andrew Tate. This is fairly breaking. We were going to talk about it late yesterday when it broke, but we just, I don't know, the show just, it goes in directions. The United Kingdom will not be prosecuting Andrew Tate in any criminal matters when it comes to the abuse claims made in the civil cases against the Tates. Andrew Tate to face no criminal charges over abuse claims made in UK civil case. 4 women are suing the influencer at high court, but the CPS rules legal test for criminal prosecution has not been met. Now, man, are the Tates, I'm going to put both of them. I think it's mostly Andrew, but Tristan certainly has been brought into this. Are they the most slandered, defamed people in the world? They were called rapists, sex traffickers for literally since we've been doing the show and before. 5 years? 6
2020.
years?
2020 he got famous. Because I brought him up and I caught Tate. I'll never forget it because we did a show on it. It's in October. It's in October and November of 2020. And I told you guys about the Red Pill movement, all the shit coming. And it's a terrorist organization now.
For 5 years.
Yeah, but that's when he got famous. Yeah, and then it was basically after the PBD podcast that he did. We have that one on if you were to go back and scroll back, that would be a good timestamp to even reference as because right after that he was shortly taken in.
Well, that's the thing.
And then it's like a year before he was even out of jail.
Well, the rumblings were out there when he did the PBD podcast because he was asked about it during that first interview with Patrick Bet-David. He says, hey, he brings it up hey, what's going on with this sex trafficking case? And Tate lays out, and his story has not changed, to Tate's credit. He lays out the story. He was having a party. It was on a yacht. Girl came over. Girl's boyfriend got jealous. She made up a lie, did not get in trouble with the boyfriend, said that she was kidnapped and brought onto a yacht, as of course all kidnappings, of course, get brought onto luxurious yachts with a famous influencer who could sleep with any girl he wants in the world. Of course, he kidnapped her and sex trafficked her, Ryan. That makes perfect logical sense. Please trust your instincts. That he was asked about it. He told the story. Very shortly after that is when his compound was raided, and him and Tristan were dragged out in cuffs. It was months after that, maybe 6 months or less, if I'm not mistaken. And they went through the whole process. They were in jail for a year. Was it a year? More than a year? It was a long time. They were in jail without charges in Romania for sex trafficking, human trafficking. And the Romanian judges, because I believe there's multiple judges in Romania, however they do their cases, they found collectively that this entire case was built on lies, and we're not doing this. Throw it out. They threw the case out. They said, come back to us in a week with serious evidence, or get the fuck, you're wasting our time. In Romania. And nothing came back. So they were free to go. They were free to travel. And then the Tates traveled to America. They traveled to Florida. Great Governor Ron DeSantis, right? The great pro-freedom Trump, he was supposed to be the guy. And what happened? He gets to Florida, and Ron DeSantis, I don't know I don't know what they're doing here, those hooligans. Just a couple of sex traffickers. The attorney general in Florida was talking about prosecuting them for sex trafficking. Nothing came from that. Then after that, shortly, the UK, the civil cases were coming out. The UK was talking about the idea of criminally charging them for rape and domestic abuse and all these other things. And now we're getting the story that that's not going to go. So for 5 years, 3 different countries, including our own, was running around telling everyone he was a sex trafficker, human trafficker, rapist, domestic violence, all these things. All these things. And not a single one of them have taken him to court and successfully. Romania couldn't even charge him. The UK can't charge him. The United States failed to charge him. But they're all running around saying he's a rapist and a human trafficker. Is that not defamation at the highest levels? Foreign governments and domestic governments are accusing him of human trafficking without charging him for 5 years. Is that not the easiest case for any lawyer on planet Earth?
Well, he'd have to get a lawyer in every country, dude.
He could probably afford a lawyer in literally every country, Ryan. Let's do it. He probably had lawyers in all these countries. Of course he did, because he had to fight all these cases that never even came about.
Yeah, I heard the first thing you do when you get rich is get a really good lawyer, because people are about to sue the living fuck out of you.
Get really good lawyers and get passports.
Yeah, passports, lawyers, and then you invest like whatever in the stock. If you really hit it right, you put enough in the stock market that you ride it out for the rest of your life. If you know what I mean, you get your nest egg. Those are 3 things.
And Tate just happens to be the one going through all this. It just happens to be one of the top guys speaking out against all these elite establishments, all these shadowy governments, speaking out against all these powerful people. He happens to be the guy who's getting all these human trafficking charges.
No, I mean, David, it kind of happens that way, ain't it? Like he said at the time, the reason they hit him with that is because it's the most heinous shit.
It's up there. I mean,
and I'll go further. The reason they didn't
not a top 3 offensive thing you can do to somebody.
And the reason they couldn't do the kid thing is because he has children. Right? Because if he didn't have kids, they probably said that he was fucking underage girls. Which I don't think has ever been accused of Tate, which I think is interesting.
No.
Because 17 and 18 are very close. Right? And
yes, there was the one girl, and they said she was like borderline, not 12-year-olds or anything, but she was like
that's what
borderline,
I'm saying.
But different countries, different rules, different cultures.
Saying but if Tate's saying they'll hit him with the most heinous shit, the most heinous shit would be sex trafficking underage girls,
100%,
and raping them. Babies would be worse.
100%.
You know what I mean? That's the only. I'm not comparing. Yeah. Well, I would wager. The global government elites are actually the worst. That's worse than pedophilia.
Well, but if you're looking at like the worst thing an individual
crimes
can
against
do,
humanity.
I think to another individual, I think raping underage girls is the worst thing. I think it's worse than murder. It's worse than murder.
Probably. I think a lot of things are worse than murder. But I'm just saying that on record that I think it's interesting that if it's the most heinous, it's actually kind of not the most heinous. And I also find it ironic that it never was really brought up out of all things, because you heard it with Diddy. You know what I mean? Now, that may lead credence to it, but I think it just speaks a lot about Tate that he is so congruent that they can't even get him for fucking underage kids or underage girls, even close to underage girls, meaning he's probably proof women his whole life, right? It's just he's got a good game mentality. But I'm just saying, to disprove, it's almost like he has the built-in disapproval. Because then they would have to go after the women he's had children with. You know what I mean? And like, I don't know, he doesn't really share his personal life, but I just seen a video of his kids the other day and him like playing with something. It was just very interesting to me that to say the most heinous shit about people that are parents, and you're bringing up if they both have children, if they are the most like targeted and politically assassinated people as far as like in the socioeconomic scheme.
I mean, if you were to sit here and make a list, there's no way the Tates aren't in the top 5. You'd have the Tates, you'd have Alex Jones for sure. I mean, he got
Trump,
sued for the GDP of a nation's.
Jones, Trump, Tate's, what's his name? Fucking guy. He hates the Jews. Why can't I think of him? Bleep it out. He was
The
just
guy
banned. Nick
Fuentes?
Nick
Fuentes?
Fuentes. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes,
I think we're up there.
I think from like big tech culture cancellation, all that
Tucker.
stuff for sure.
And
He
Tucker.
hasn't been. I don't think he's been attacked legally yet, but if he keeps going, he's
And
going
Tucker.
to be.
And Tucker.
Maybe. Well, that's the thing. You know what's funny? Like I think the first 3 you listed were so far and above and beyond that Fuentes and Tucker don't even seem like they're in the same league as far as like being attacked.
Yeah, you're probably
As
right
far
because
as
there is levels
lawfare
to the
goes.
game, but like
Yeah.
I will tell you that that's the 5.
Yes. Andrew Tate will face no criminal charges over allegations made by 4 women who are suing him in a civil case at the High Court in London. The women accuse the self-proclaimed misogynist influencer of sexual violence,
I love
including
that.
grabbing one by the throat on several occasions in 2015, whipping her with a belt, and pointing a gun at her face. Tate's barristers told in earlier court hearing there was a, quote, total denial of wrongdoing. The Crown Prosecution Service, CPS, said on Monday that the legal test to bring criminal charges had not been met. They said that we undertook a further review of the case file in relation to allegations of assault and rape between 2013 and 2015. Following careful consideration of the evidence provided by the Hertfordshire Constabulary, we concluded that our legal test for prosecution was not met and that no further action should be taken. We have informed all parties of our decision and offered to meet with the complainants to explain our reasoning. Yeah, whatever was brought forth clearly in their eyes was not enough for criminal.
Which is what Tate said was going to happen the whole time.
Tate's UK solicitor, Andrew Ford, welcomed the decision. He said, despite much external pressure, the evidence speaks for itself in this case, and the Crown Prosecution Service have rightly confirmed the evidence is inadequate to provide any realistic prospect of conviction. The reason the CPS made the decision will become obvious when the evidence is played out during the civil proceedings. We are glad this is yet another example of potential criminal case against Andrew Tate falling by the wayside. The women brought the civil case against Tate in the High Court, and the CPS originally decided not to prosecute in 2019. 3 of them reported Tate to the Hertfordshire police, whose investigation was closed that same year. Yeah, it's like, and I don't know if these are the women. Do you remember he was talking in an interview? He talked about the BBC was literally calling around, trying to find women who were done wrong by Andrew Tate,
gardeners and shit, and groundskeepers.
I want to talk about a witch hunt. Could you imagine getting to the level
where, for the record, they do this for a New York State pistol permit, David.
Okay. But imagine getting to the level of let's call it interest, that global governments, national governments are calling everyone you've ever had an interaction with, just trying to find some shit you've done wrong. And imagine coming up with nothing. Could you imagine being that clean? Is that wild? Like the Trump lawfare, they had to do so much to get anything.
Well, Tate came from the streets, right? Isn't that the story? So let's expand the story. If you came from the streets, like your reputation, like you don't get out of that unless you're like just make honesty happen. Like, you can't lie your way to the top when you come from nothing. You can't, because the streets catch up to you, and it's at your job, it's your girlfriend. It's like he wouldn't have even got to the level he was at if he was playing foul. You know what I mean? Like, it's just been he's just scaled the discipline of operation. Like, the way he moved was the same way when he was poor, and he just scaled it as he got wealthy. Close-knit circle, same people, they move the same, they all make money, they all like, that's why I think that mindset's so sharp that he has. It's, like, never veered either. I was saying the thing about love and hate or whatever, it's the same thing. That love and hate are the same emotion was so powerful. And it's just that little reframe. It's so intelligent. He could have read that in a book, fine. But his presentation of it was very animated and very Tate like, but it's powerful. It's powerful messaging. Which at this point all you need to disrupt these powerful elites.
Well, you got to have, yes, good, clear, concise, steady messaging. But also you got to, I think what works truthfully is that we're all on the side of not only truth, but the side, like, being simultaneously on the side of truth and freedom is like, it should be the easiest sell in the world.
Alex said this years ago that they don't make liberty sexy enough for it to be sold over sin.
Well, they try to make it, yeah, well, yes, because they try to make it sound dangerous. Right?
Well, I mean,
This has been a
popping a
constant
pill is
debate
way more
for
fun than shooting a gun.
this has been a constant debate for centuries, right? Liberty versus security. This has always been the debate. And the people on the side of liberty, like us, we believe that this should be the simplest sell on planet Earth, but it isn't, because I think it just takes certain types of people, and I think people are always going to be split on this because people are inherently different. But you got to be a certain kind of person to put some security aside for freedom, because it is truthfully, a trade you have to make.
I mean, people that gave you the freedom you have died and went broke to just give you a country.
Didn't give a fuck about security, clearly.
Well, what was the opportunity? What was the alternative? And people think that it's not that dire. We're talking global slavery. Like, I don't like it's worse. Like, their global government, that means we need a global revolution and a global constitution and a global declaration of independence, wouldn't we, David?
No, you just have no rights. You don't need a constitution. You don't have rights. But don't worry, we'll keep you nice and safe in your pod.
I thought I'm a global citizen, David.
It's okay. You don't need rights. We're going to keep you safe in the pod, Ryan.
None of us voted for this, David.
You wanted to talk Candace.
Global government has never been voted for in the countries that are part of the global government. Not one time. I don't care what UN treaty you say. It has never been on my ballot box for global government in the United States of America, which is the only country that my congressman, my elected officials, the president of the United States is supposed to swear allegiance to. Not a foreign entity, not bankers, not shills, not Jews, not blackmail, nothing. Anything else is treason.
Well, they didn't.
We all know what they did to Benedict Arnold, David.
They're smart with it, though, Ryan. They don't put it on the ballot box. Nobody knew when.
Well, it's illegitimate then by default.
I get it, but nobody knew when they voted for Biden, and it's not that it would have changed their minds in most cases, but nobody knew when they voted for Biden he was going to install a global tax. Ryan, did anyone know that was part of his policy? I didn't know about that. Most people didn't know about it while it happened. Most people didn't know to this day that it happened.
I'm pretty sure we covered it, David. It was in part of the Inflation Reduction Act. Global tax was baked in there. And climate change. I don't remember the exact clause because my photographic memory somehow gets super lazy around legalese because it's all bullshit.
I don't know.
Boy, can I snapshot those moments that you stole my freedom, dude? God Almighty, help me.
I guarantee if you polled, I would do 1,000 people. I would poll 1,000 people in the streets from all parties. I would poll Republicans, Democrats, Libertarians. I don't care. I'd poll 1,000 people. I bet you'd have less than 10 people out of the 1,000 who knew there was a global tax installed by the Biden administration.
Seems like some Mark Dice shit. Hey, do you want to sign a petition for the state of California for post-birth abortions? And you get people to sign it. Yeah, like to, be able to, post-birth abortion your kids at up to age 2,
Up to 18, Ryan. They're adults when they're 18, so why not?
Why not just kill them before?
Yeah, 17. I still have control.
Too expensive.
So I'm just aborting the child.
Too much.
17.
It's too expensive.
Gotta let her go.
It's too expensive. It's just too expensive. It's $300,000 to raise a kid, David.
Way too expensive.
Super expensive. The only thing in life worth doing is too expensive. Go fucking figure. Crazy, dude.
Ryan, we're gonna.
Dude, she's a married woman, but I'll tell you, man.
God damn. We're gonna go.
I will tell you, man.
From this to the Israeli tweets topic, because I think it segues nicely. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I don't really know what to say about Candace Owens. I think the Brigitte Macron thing sums it up well, because I think I've said this several times, but it's one of those things where it's one of those things where I didn't really care about the Brigitte story. Like, I don't care if she's a man. None of these things. It really doesn't bother me in the slightest. And then when she was sued is when I was like, all right, fuck these people. Now I'm saying, let's go all in. Candace Owens,
I don't care. I don't care if a global tax gave it to the consumer of the country.
Ryan, Ryan, you're leading live chats before me. Wow.
Yeah, I don't care. It's fucking global government was not voted on. And you can give me a refund check. I don't get a refund on the Constitution. And there is no bartering. Like, you don't barter with it. The whole point of it is the rule of law. It's illegal. They made a contract to uphold the thing. They're not doing it. It's treason. The act of treason, there's sentences for this with military tribunals. It's been said. I didn't make the rules. They agreed to them. They fucked it up, and now they're trying to skirt out of it. They're trying to stop you from getting wealthy and have freedom and have your own island and 100 children. What the fuck don't people understand? They don't want you to be wealthy. Holy fuck. That's all it is. They don't want you to know the shit you know. That they know. The LLC loopholes, they don't want you to know that shit. You really think that a bunch of bankers want you to know how to lower your interest rate on your fucking house on YouTube? Serious question. Serious question. Do you think a bank, like the people at the tippy top that want to make you a slave, really want you to open a business that you can write things off and maybe get out of it? The only people you hear like that get attacked by the system. And, look, I like Alex Hormozy and Ty Lopez too, but they've bought so much money in Facebook ads and everything else. They're like fucking, Google's made money on them. They're baked in the business algorithm that's fucking cycled to promote business and business classes and AI business. And they're all just scaling sales and systems. Like, I don't get it. Dude, the bigger the government gets, the less control you have over it. Like, what the fuck? Are we going to let them literally rule over us on Mars while we're stuck here? And we'll never be able to get to them to fucking hold them accountable physically? Like, what will it take for you to actually physically understand the separation of the metaphor of how scary it is that the most powerful government with the most shit ever literally has all of our heartbeats in a fucking box somewhere? They literally know how many steps you take every day and sell it to Amazon so that they can spy on North Korea. Come on. China. It's China. We got to fight China and the AI bots. It's a joke. It's a mockery. What else you got? The consumer country, meaning that the company's based China, but the United States consumers, the product U.S. would get a tax benefit. Dude, it's not a tax benefit. It's global government. Just admit it. It's global government. There's no global rights. There's no global civilians. They're going to implement the credit score. We showed you England. England said you need a digital ID. That is a social fucking credit score, which is one step away from a global citizen database. They will remove countries from the map. It bothers me. It bothers me. We're still dude, I love you, but you're rationalizing. I told you 15 years ago they were coming for everything. What more is there? These people are fucking making you a slave. They're making it so hard to afford food for like regular people. You may be okay. I'm happy for the people that are okay. 25% of Americans are doing great. Like really well actually. But like they're taking everything. BlackRock's buying up all the houses. To what? Rent to our kids' friends, parents? To me? Once cash is gone. This is what I see. Write everything off, make a little money by selling a product or service, and report a loss, more money to you. Right. You're just like, but this is what I'm saying, dude. That's what they did. Right. And they scaled it. Right. They just bought a house, rented it out, bought 2 houses, rented them out, bought 3 houses, rented them out, bought 70 houses. That's Grant Cardone. You can bunch it on YouTube. They don't want you to do it though.
Grant Cardone does want you to do it. He's one of the exceptions.
They don't fucking want you. Dude, the bank does not want you to have more money than them. I don't care. Tate told you they took everything. Dude, BlackRock, fine. They're treasonists. I don't even care about Democrats, Republicans. They're corrupt pieces of shit. They're literally making the money off the BlackRock buying them. It's insider trading. Is this justifiable for global government? I'm still waiting for where it's okay to have global government. Because writing off shit on your LLC will end. That shit will end. The only reason you can have a company and a business that is ran by you is because you have freedom, because we have firearms. That's it. It's literally it. I don't care if they have F-16. It's the separation of power baked in the system. And we're negating that. And the more we globalize things, the less we have power in our local communities to even run a business. Who's gonna employ you? The government to do what? Government work? Where are you getting money from? The government? How's the money get the government? How's the money get government? Because what? Digital currencies just shit it out? They do that now. Fiat currency, there's nothing backing it up. The bank just writes you a loan. It's not real money. 90% of the money supply isn't even in real money. It's not liquid money. What are we talking about? They bubbled America into global government. They stole our country. They're going to fucking destroy it, centralize it with corporations, and make you buy all your shit back.
Since we're talking about
the
wealth,
LLC will go away, dude.
Since we're talking about wealth, I'm going to throw this in real quick. Elon Musk, for what it's worth, is officially worth $500 billion. And Mike says, work more. Good luck. You're gonna outwork BlackRock. You're gonna outwork a half trillionaire.
Dude, one Bitcoin is $100,000. That's the new money. You can't even afford the new money. You could sell your whole LLC, and what do you get? 2 Bitcoin? What, are you going to hold that while you go to your other 9-to-5 job, Mike? Think about it. Literally think about it. What are we talking about? Biden would have done the same thing. They actually made you file crypto under the Biden administration on your taxes. They were the same ones to tell you to not buy it. It's not real money. The reason you should buy crypto alone is it's literally a giant battery facility that will be sold back to municipalities. They're an infrastructure. They're literally the military. Buy Bitcoin. I haven't, but buy Bitcoin. Do it 50 cents at a time. I don't care. Just buy something. It's literally the infrastructure. It's literally the fucking it's a bond. It's just like a government bond. They're just stocking it in DLC coins that we got used to buying in video games from microtransactions. It's the same thing. I'm turning dollars into gold coins to get the skin. Because they devalued what real money meant in our lifetime. Like in our parents' lifetime. Because of global government. It was a plan. That's the problem I'm having. I'm not just sitting by and be like, yeah, no. The fuck? No. Kill me. Dude, you don't want to live under global government that can track every fucking footstep that you do. You don't want that. Read a book about the communists. They killed more people than Hitler. They starved my ethnicity of people to death. To death. Hundreds of millions. I don't want to hear it. You don't want that. I've come on all of these platforms and I've done it in public. I do it at work. I don't care. Fire me, kill me, ban me. I'm not going, that was always the pun, right, Dave? Even if you censor me online, I'm still going to do it in public. You know what I mean? I don't care. It's not okay. I'm not saying that us arguing on the internet is going to fucking take it out of your income tax check. The problem is they've Overton windowed and they fucking political Stockholm syndrome you into just accepting less and less and less and less and less. They know how the government invented psychology to study, so they knew how to manipulate its citizens at a scientific metric. Propaganda is movies and television just with some entertainment value. Your cell phone is a bug zapper that can also look up porn. They have movies about people stuck in a virtual reality and they're just on their couch because they didn't tell you in the movie because we didn't understand it, but it was dopamine. They were all dopamine dripped out. Right? Just when you cry, you just, you're I don't know. I wasted all day looking at nothing. And you feel like you're on autopilot. I don't know, dude. I don't know. I don't blame Democrats. I don't blame Republicans. I have said and I have watched people that have said for 20 plus years that there's global government coming. They're going to take everything, the whole enchilada. COVID gave you a little small symptom. That's what we all say, a symptom. No, they fucking they got it done under COVID. We're just seeing it, what it means now. The LLC, the business thing, it's not going to work in communist ran states like New York State. The shit will dry. It will dry up. The unions will dry you up. It don't matter how much work there is. You're going to have to join the union and be unionized. If you make money, great. I don't know how that works. I'm not a business owner. I'm just telling you that the people at the top don't want you to be independently wealthy. Because when you talk about wealth in front of these people, they get upset. And I know that because I've done it. And it's everybody. It's everybody at every job I've ever had, in every situation, I was very small, David. I know my experience. But it's true. It's fucking true, especially in this area. It's a Rust Belt city. There's nothing here. People are like, oh, how are you gonna get rich? Somebody's got to get rich somewhere. But the thing is, like, the stuck on the money thing. It's not about money. No, dude. At this point, money literally will buy you freedom. Our parents told us it's not about the money because they were focused on family values. Dude, the only way you have family values is if you can buy them now. Marriage is a luxury. Owning a business is a luxury. Like, vacation's a luxury. It's all luxuries. Like, the American dream is a luxury. Like, is an actual luxury to people. It's not the average. That'd be cool. Yeah, I mean, that's probably like what you have to do. I mean, at some point, I mean, I know in my field, jobs that I worked for a guy that said he'd never go union and had to. You know, just because of, like, people were all going to the hall because of wages. You know, but if we remove the unions, if you go to a place that's more private business, you know what I mean? Could you 10x your money there? If you move to Texas or something, could you 10x your money? Then doesn't even matter if you know, everything's a catch-22. Scott Calloway said there's only going to be 10 cities in the next 20 years that will have any real wealth or economic mobility in what's coming. 10 cities in the globe.
In the globe?
And this is a guy that moves in the globe, that moves
Not
hundreds
the
of
United
millions of
States,
dollars.
the globe.
The globe.
Holy fuck.
The globe.
I don't know if
The
I can name
globe.
the 10 cities he was thinking of.
I think he even did one that was 20. It was New York, London, Dubai, I think LA. I don't want to. I mean, you might be able to just like Gronk, Scott Calloway's.
I'm checking right now. I would have guessed Dubai. I'd probably guess Miami.
Maybe.
Maybe
Tokyo.
Prof G. Will drive the majority. Frequently discusses the future of cities in the context of global economic growth. He argues that urban hubs, particularly super cities with high concentrations of talent, innovation, and capital, will drive the majority of wealth creation. Specifically, he states over the next 30 years, 2/3 of global economy's growth will come from just 20 super cities. Okay, so New York City, San Francisco, London, Milan, Tokyo, I probably would have guessed. Paris, Singapore, Shanghai, Seoul, which South Korea, Tel Aviv. Interesting. That was 10 of them. What's full list of 20? Yeah, why did you just give me those? Hold on, let's see what the rest of them are. London, Berlin, Singapore, Shanghai, Beijing, Mumbai, Bangalore, Dubai, Boston? Okay, didn't see that coming. Los Angeles, Chicago, Toronto, and Sydney. Interesting.
Yeah, Buffalo needs to build a high-speed rail to Toronto so we can get there in 25 minutes.
Half of the cities are American because U.S. drives 58% of the G7 GDP. Advice: if you're in your 20s, relocate, post credentializing, remote work. Huh, interesting. Network. Okay. Yeah, weird. Actually, one of the cities I would have guessed was not on there. I would have thought Miami would have been on there.
Yeah, I think I think the hurricane season fuck up those areas. That's actually why I think, like, places that have snow, they'd rather move snow than water. I mean, I just think it's
Yeah, because Boston's there, New York City's there, Chicago's there. They all get snow.
Toronto.
Yeah, Toronto. Dubai, if they change the weather enough, for sure, they'd probably snow there. Ryan, I'm going to try to make this relatively quick here. Certainly not going to play the whole clip. We're just going to get into Candace Owens, and it's going to be just like just a little snippet so we have an idea of what's going on, because I'm going to read the text messages that presumably she
Charlie
was referring
Kirk's
to.
perspective on Israel was not starting to shift. It had shifted entirely. Okay. There are no ifs and there are no ands and there are no buts about it. Israel knew that. Turning Point USA knew that because Charlie was explicit.
Now, there is a story out, an article out, that apparently Charlie Kirk had written this big, long love letter to Benjamin Netanyahu too, which would maybe dispute what Candace is saying. So I don't know how she would react to that, but we'll just keep going.
So my question is, why isn't Turning Point USA making any statements and shutting down this repeat attempt by Israel to lie and to pretend that towards the end, Charlie was just authoring love letters to Israel, giving them a perspective of here's how we can win here's what you guys need to do. You need to work with this Hillel, whatever it is. Yeah, the same people that are calling me anti-Semitic, you need to work with those people harder. And he was just putting it on paper. Was it an email? What was that they were sharing on the New York Post, the Israeli Post, right? What were they sharing there? He wrote of his deep love for Israel. He had nothing else to do in May. Wrote of his deep love for Israel to a letter to Netanyahu. Netanyahu said they were close, but in the letter, Charlie puts his number, which apparently Netanyahu didn't have his number. And we're supposed to believe, did he send that as an email, by the way? Can somebody clarify? Was that an email they were sharing? Or did he send it in the mail to him? Could somebody share that, please? I'm assuming it was an email.
So
she really is doubling down on doing hood rat shit with her friends, dude.
She really is doing hood rat shit with her friends for sure. Now this is this is all part of a dispute. There's text messages and all types of things that are being leaked out, and there's dispute about who the text messages come from and all these things, and that's fine. We can have those discussions. But here, in my opinion, here's the thing that's interesting, because this has been going on now for, let's call it a week, 2 weeks, whatever you want to call the exact time. But I do think it's interesting because the story just had broken today that we had covered over on our Facebook page. But Israel is actually paying up to $7,000 per, let's just call it, pro-propaganda Israel post on social media sites. They're paying up to $7,000 per post. Now, this is very similar to the conversation that she was just talking about, Charlie Kirk. He had the love letter that was to Israel. And apparently in this love letter, they were talking about how to win the PR battle, because Israel has been slowly losing the PR battle since they were attacked by Hamas on October 7th, I believe it was.
Stop shooting children in the face on hospitals and then blowing up all the buildings and say that's booby traps.
This is the most difficult PR battle that you could ever lose in the world.
Probably one way. Probably when Greta Thunberg comes over there, climax activist and all that, while she's over there fucking rubbing beans together. You don't blow up her ship like an asshole.
Imagine your country gets attacked by terrorists, and within a year, you're accused of genocide. The PR battle was lost. It was lost because of what they were doing in the region.
They've been fighting for so long. Neither one of them know what the fuck they're doing.
It would have been so easy to play victim here, but they took it too far. There had to have been a response. I completely agree with that. If any nation gets attacked by another nation, there should be a response, 100%. But how far do you take it? They leveled the entire city. Netanyahu comes out and says, well, all the buildings in the entire city was booby-trapped. All of them. All the buildings were booby-trapped. All of them. The whole city's rubble. Have you seen the pictures? No, they were all booby-trapped. Every one. Oh, there's a ship. They're delivering supplies. The ship exploded. Oh, the ship got hit with missiles. Really? The ship delivering supplies to the Palestinians in Gaza was hit with missiles. Missiles for supplies, not military supplies, food. Oh, you got to win the PR battle. Better pay $7,000 per social media post. I don't know. That's one way to do it, I guess. Propaganda has been very effective historically. Another thing you could do is stop murdering children. I think that works. Find a lot of success. Dude, they could sign a check to me today. I'm not doing it. I'm not posting shit just because you're going to pay me. I know there's a lot of people who will do it. And that should be transparent. I don't know how you would do that. A lot would go into that, but it should be transparent. Because before you say anything, I want to know who's paying you. Now, before this all gets misconstrued, I'm not saying Israel killed Charlie Kirk or any of this shit. Candace is kind of saying that. But
I'm saying that.
I don't know. I haven't... Give
Dave,
me...
I'm telling you, I'm
just give me something that shows me that, and then we'll go for it. But I'm not saying that.
I'm fucking half a page away from throwing salutes, dude. These fucking motherfuckers, dude.
This
shit's getting out of hand. I watch you murder children on live television.
Well, here's where I disagree. Here's where I completely disagree with the premise. Charlie Kirk, at least publicly, even if it was privately, if he was starting to lose some patience with Israel, let's call it that. Even if that was privately, publicly, he was very pro-Israel. So why the fuck would they shoot him? They're going to pay people $7,000 for a post, but they're going to shoot the one guy who's very popular, who's very much on their side? That doesn't make any sense. They're going to shoot Ben Shapiro next?
I heard he was fucking around on his wife.
I don't know. I have no idea.
What if she killed him?
Here's the thing, man. There's so many. You could go out and come up with all types of stories. I don't know. I will say, as time goes on, as I'm hearing more about the assassination, some of it doesn't make any fucking sense. There was no exit wound. No exit wound. Yeah, his bones were really healthy. His fucking bones were healthy?
Held in a 308, huh?
30-aught, you could kill a
magic
moose
bullet
with a 30-06.
Magic bullet.
It didn't go through his neck. He was super
magic
healthy.
Bone. Magic bone, Dave. Magic bullet, magic bone. Found him. The magic collarbone, dude. It ricocheted off his chest and hit him in the neck, Dave, and that's why, it didn't kill anybody else behind him.
Now we now have two
cases.
It's
the softest tissue in the whole fucking in your entire body. Like the neck is the weakest point of your body. It's so prone to injury.
We now have two cases where mass shootings coincided with engraved ammunition. And I'm just going to say it. Who is going to commit heinous activities and spends the time engraving their ammunition? It just doesn't... None of this shit checks out to me. And why all of the sudden are people doing this? Just out of the blue, we're going to decide to engrave our ammo?
Got a name, name on the bullet, Dave. Lil Wayne said it.
I don't know. I'm not saying I have the answers. I'm sure there's a billion conspiracy theories about it already. And some of them might hold water in some way or another, because that's the nature of it. It all starts with a kernel of truth and then it expands. So listen, I'm not going to immediately just put anything to the side and say no, it doesn't. But it has to make sense to me. It has to make sense to me. And as far as the Israel and Charlie Kirk things goes, at least publicly, he was very pro-Israel. So it just on the surface doesn't make sense that they would take him out. And maybe Candace knows more. She's got more inside information. Maybe she's got other things. I will say the other thing about Candace Owens, though, that does bother me sometimes, is that she'll say all these things. Well, I have all this stuff. You have your own show. You got an audience. Show me. Go ahead. Let me see the text messages. She's running around saying TPUSA has to come out with this very concise, clear statement from the board of directors and prove me wrong. That's not how this works. Make your case, show the evidence, and let the chips fall where they may. If you have text messages from board members at TPUSA, fucking put them out. Let's see them. You got millions of viewers. Can we see? I like her vigor. I like her attitude. I like her fucking tenacity. I love all that shit. There's things I like about her. But I don't know, man. if you're gonna call a lady a man because she looks like a man, and I get it, she does. She looks like a man. Let me see what proof you got. If you're gonna say Charlie Kirk was killed by Israel or TPUSA was a part of it or whatever she's claiming, then let me see what proof you got. Like, let's see what you have. I mean, you might have something there. I don't know. Can we see? Or if you're just making the claim because something seems fishy, then just say you're making the claim because something seems fishy. You could just say, like, I don't know, this doesn't make sense on the surface, and here's what I think. I don't have evidence to support it, but I don't know. Maybe you just sometimes you have a gut feeling, and sometimes you got to trust your instincts, Ryan. I've been saying it for a while. Can you just one way or the other? If you have evidence, can I see it? If it's a gut instinct, can you tell me? I do respect the fuck out of her. She's got bigger balls than most of the people in the conservative movement.
Except Crowder.
He put his balls right on the table. That guy, 2-3 weeks after Charlie Kirk was assassinated, said, "You know what? Fuck you. We're going to colleges and speaking again." On a segment that he had canceled forever ago himself anyway. He specifically went out of his way to bring it back. Do you understand the balls that takes? They already weren't doing Change My Minds for a year or 2 years. Charlie Kirk's assassinated. He said, now's the time. Now's when you bring it back. Because fuck these people. I'm not going to bow. I'm not going to cower. It's too important. Speech is too important. I will walk around with a bulletproof vest and armed security guards, and I'll speak because I can.
Well,
and he's speaking on behalf of everyone who can't do that. People can't
100%.
run around with bulletproof vests and security guards to go speak publicly. And why the fuck should we have to?
No, well, the option, if I can, I'm allowed to get violent. If I'm not allowed to redress my grievance with my government, I am allowed to be a violent citizen to it. And that may be including to voting. That may be including to calling the military. I'm not saying burn your towns down, people, but they do work for us. And if your boss is really bad, or your employees are really bad, rather, you as an employer have an obligation and a duty to fire said employees so that you can have a better ran, we'll call it a corporation in this instant, David. It's literally baked into the fucking document. I'm tired of it. It's a reason why they don't want you to know it. We've talked about 100 times. As far as the Candace Owen thing, I really think sometimes she just pokes the bear. Because some of the shit she says, she probably gets text messages about the shit she says, and people talk, and then it makes the web, and then she can just sit back and be like, and then she can see all the people scramble. It's kind of like I heard a thing. Napoleon Bonaparte used to wait 3 days to write back for a letter, and he figured within 3 days, that's by horses back then.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, if you're writing a letter every day, by the time the horse gets there, the information's kind of dated. So Napoleon kind of figured out that he trusted his men and his soldiers and everything and his regiments, that they should be able to handle 3 days without me, basically, and not hear from me. They know their orders. They know what we're doing. As far as like the other diligent stuff, he would always stay on top of. But he said, as far as like petty matters of like, oh, there's not enough bread, there's not enough shit for the horses, like, I'm not responding to that. I'll wait 3 days. And if I'm hearing about it again in 3 days, I know it's a real issue and it wasn't addressed. And it's just basically about like focusing, on what you can control. But I can't help but think that Candace does that with information. I mean, who's really flipping the script right now on the media? Because we're in new media. People keep talking about the new media. Mainstream media is dead. Okay, it's dead. So who's the new media? Rogan, Megyn Kelly, Tucker, Tim Pool. Like, so who's really pushing the envelope now? What's the biggest envelope to push? Israel. Who's pushing Israel? Who's pushing against it? Who's pushing the narrative about the assassination? Who's not?
I find it interesting that
we have to start
Candace...
asking these questions now, because in 5 years, when the truth comes out on all of these people, Joe Rogan included, Tucker, we need to be able to hold them accountable, because in 5 years, it's going to be recognized that they are the media. Right now, it's still in this like, oh, mainstream media is dead. No, it was dead 10 years ago. Like, they're actually the mainstream media now. Like they're just the zeitgeist hasn't caught up. It's dated. The term is dated. People haven't realized like what is really going on these platforms.
I do
And
find
Dave
it
and I always
interesting
say it all the
that
time. A lot of this stuff takes years to manifest, but it's worth seeing now because it's the only way to really like. It's not like we're fighting anything.
do you think it's weird that Candace Owen and Nick Fuentes aren't closer? Like she had him on the show.
They didn't
Something
interview
happened.
together.
They clearly Nick Fuentes clearly does not like Candace Owens. And I'm sure she just doesn't like him back because, quite frankly, he's kind of a dick. To her specifically, for sure, publicly. And it's interesting because they have such a common denominator in the Israel thing. They would be such a powerful like duo to go after Israel, and they just can't seem to get it together. Interestingly enough, as far as the Charlie Kirk thing goes, Nick Fuentes actually very much does not think Israel had anything to do with it. Like out of all the people, like Nick Fuentes is probably the most harsh against Israel, and then Candace Owens, you could put her in the top 5 if you want. It's funny to me that out of all the people, Nick Fuentes is like, yeah, I don't know about that. Because we'll blame him for just about everything.
I mean, I'm under the impression now that most stuff that we see political is contrived, or the blowback of it was something somewhere from some government somehow. I mean, once again, bare minimum, they've been telling us for years that we're Nazis. You know what I mean?
Well, people are like entitled to their opinion, Ryan. You know, that's what AOC said.
But that's what I mean. So, like, bare minimum, they have softcore. It's like softcore porn in us. They've set us up to, like, basically pop a boner. And then we're like, well, you know, he's like a white Martin Luther King, guys, you know? It's like you kind of, like, primed us all up. You know, you got everybody ready, got us all excited. You said that the economy's going to collapse under all these presidents and we're not going to get out of the pandemic. And, like, you got everybody jazzed up. George Floyd, the fucking riots. Like, what, dude? Like, what do you expect?
Well, let's.
But bare minimum,
they did all this, and then when Charlie Kirk was shot, then it was, I think maybe we should try to calm some of the rhetoric down. Maybe we should just.
We gotta meet in the middle here.
Yeah, let's cool off. Let's all be friends here. You just shot
and by
one
meeting
of us
in the middle,
fucking face, neck. Probably tried
and
to
by
shoot in the face and failed.
Yeah, good thing for my super strong neck. And by meet in the middle, I mean I'm gonna have a mainstream media host interview a guy that was shot with AI projection in a school shooting to talk about ending it. It's crazy. The whole thing's engineered. Yo, that'd be crazy. Charlie Kirk faked his death. Maybe he's chilling with Tupac in Jamaica or whatever, dude.
That's another thing I've heard that I just no.
I heard he was tapping somebody else and she found out. Not that she killed him, but she knew the whole time, and there's like an active cover up going up trying to like maintain his image. And when I read that, you know, it's kind of like don't idolize heroes. You know, like people are people. You know, I'm not out here claiming to be holier than thou. I'm very flawed, but I will tell you, I will stand and lean into the things I'm good at, you know. And you know, I never claimed to be the Messiah or anything, but you got to kind of wonder. Sigmund Freud said the person is on the outside. They're trying to hide something on the inside. So for all we know, this dude's tying people up in the basement. You know, let that be something. So, but I'm sure it's going to be like anything else. In 5 years, we'll fucking hear that the real story of Charlie Kirk, and he was abusive and, you know, alcoholic or something. Dave, what's up with the pink backpack?
Yeah, we could do that real quick. This is probably a good show ender, Ryan. Just to you know, kind of sum it up a bit. Just gonna put a clip up. Husband, wife, presumably arguing about their son choosing a pink backpack.
Our little boy is starting reception in September. He has picked his own school bag.
I told him not to get the pink bag.
It's what he wants to have.
I don't care what he wants to have. You should have got the football bag like I told you.
It's his first day of school. It's his choice of backpack.
He's going to get bullied.
He's not going to get bullied. He's 4 years old.
You know how many 4-year-old people are these days, right? It's going to get...
I'll say this. This seems like a very set up clip. I'm just going to put it out there. It seems like a very set up clip, but I still want to talk about what they're talking about because I think this debate is happening publicly, especially with like the trans movement. Hearing a lot of things about like, oh well, if it's what the child if the child thinks they're male, then surely we must just go along with it, and the parents have no say and all this stuff. And I'm sorry, but when the fuck did we just start doing whatever the kids wanted? When did that become a thing? Oh, I want to have ice cream for dinner. Well, of course you want to have ice cream for dinner. Of course you want to.
From the mouth of babes, David. From the
you don't get to have fucking ice cream for dinner. You don't get a pink backpack because you're a boy. You don't play with dolls because you're a fucking boy. I'm sorry. Why is this? Why do we just now? Why is society? Why is it the mainstream thing to just? Well, if the kid wants to do it, I don't give a fuck what the kid wants. Not to be a dick. Like I care about
because you're trying to remove your parental rights from your children.
Yes, and yes, that for sure, and trying to kill men.
Well, if they don't kill us or we kill ourselves, David, through 3 men killing themselves every day due to suicide, they're just going to abolish the genome by spreading chemicals through my environment and basically killing what makes me. So I know they're not doing that to women. Coincidentally, I wonder why. Because they can just turn women masculine. And then they can have all the properties of men just in a weaker version. And no dicks.
Well, I was actually going to say that the whole reason you would kill masculine men and then put women in power is because women are easier to control.
They listen to the one with the most money. They're socioeconomic. They will listen to the highest on the hierarchy. And what will women do when it's a computer?
Well, what's the other thing you've been saying is that high T men are most likely to go against the grain or whatever the study was.
The only reason you have everything is high testosterone. All the inventions, all the freedom, all the fucking works of art, all the poetry, all the music, everything you have was built by testosterone. Everything. A fucking screw. The horseshoes that went on fucking horses of George Washington's. George Washington! Like, holy fuck! Like, what? The world ain't fair. Nothing's equal. I understand. But I'll tell you something, dude. If men were engineering a society to replace women, like the system is trying to gear up to replace men, there would be nothing but men lining up to fight that war. The difference is the men are sedated with artificial generated images. So the very thing that women are promoting is the thing that will reproduce them out of the very equation. I've said for years the fuck robots are coming as like a joke, but the gender divide will get so bad that we'll just stop partaking in real people mating. So we'll keep pushing the pink book bags because my fingers are painted in pink blood. Dave Ryan, December 1773. Catch us on Rumble for the greatest podcast in human history. As always, David, I appreciate you the most for your pink book bag fingers, and I will see everybody tomorrow for Thursday.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Ron.
Lord willing.